Alright, shalom. Alright, shalom. This is GMS Nebraska sit down. First off, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, and salutations to the elect brothers in His truth and sincerity. Today we're going to go over this topic. It's called, it's basically we're dealing with Glass-Steagall, excuse me, which is dealing with the financial crisis that we're going through right now, and the depressions and breakdowns that this country has suffered in the past. And Glass-Steagall is a big part of it. So we're going to do it in kind of three parts. We're going to deal with the Great Depression, the 2008 collapse, as well as this collapse that's going to come next, which is going to be that one that's going to lead to the Third World War and the falling of Babylon, Lord willing. So before we start that, can you get that scripture for me, brother?
Come. This is Psalm 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Because that's their mindset, that this place is always going to be here, that they're not going to go down. And, they're going to start their new world order. But even back then, in 1933, before that, when the Great Depression first hit, that was their thought. That, their house is going to continue forever. America's always going to be here. And the reason why the great collapse happened was because there's the same reason why the collapse is happening now. It's the bankers doing fraudulent trading, fucking over the people, just to say it, bluntly. That's why Glass-Steagall was put in place as a checks and balance system, basically. Because you had two type of banks. You had investment banks, which, you go and you invest your money into the stock market type bank, or you got a commercial bank where, you get your checks into every 2 weeks. You might have a savings, or, just regular, you might try to get a loan or something like that. There's two different types of banks. But back then, you could, the banks could be both. So you might put your money in the bank, save it for a rainy day. But what they was doing, they was taking your money, and then they were invested in the stock market trying to get rich. They were getting rich off of your money. And when the bubble burst, that's how everybody lost their money. Which is the same thing that's going on right now. And we're going to get into all of that. Is there some more on that precept?
Yes, sir. It says, Psalm 49:11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Yeah,
so they think that, that they're always going to be here, that they're going to be able to pass this down from generation to generation. My son's sons got rich, and there's nothing new under the sun. What's going on today was going on back then. You had the 1% getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, and you had the 99 getting poorer and poorer and poorer.
Got another precept too.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Leviticus 19:36. It says, just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Most High, your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah, man, you got to deal justly when it comes to weights and money. You can't get a 10-pound weight and then mark it 5 and put it on the scale and cheat somebody out of the money. Mm-hmm. That's not ethical.
Like what's happening is the money's not backed by nothing, so therefore it's not just, it's not balanced, it's fake money. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? This brother put something on his earlier. Well, I read something he had wrote earlier. He said you know what I'm saying, pretty much there's no difference from $1 and $100. It's the same. The only difference is you think there's a difference.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go take that $1 bill to the bank no more and get gold or silver for it in exchange. You know what I'm saying? They not having that. They got the real riches. You know what I'm saying? That's why anybody that try and trade oil or whatever in gold and real resources, they try to take them out.
They coming
after you. You know what I'm saying? They coming after you. And like, hey, all of this is revolving around World War III, man. Because let's say Iran, North Korea, Russia, they like, man, we don't care what America say. Hey, we about to trade today. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but gold. You know what I'm saying? America can't take all of them on by itself. By itself. You know what I'm saying? So whoever American, that's how it's slowly leading up to it, man. Trust and believe. It's slowly leading up. But that's why you got to have just balances of weight so you won't have no fucked up economy, man. All right?
Yeah. And, that's the spirit that the brother, brought that to the forefront, because it's a transition to what I was going to go in next, which was Richard Nixon in 71 when he went off the gold standard. Mm-hmm. The Glass-Steagall and Richard Nixon coming off of the gold standard, that's what's causing America to crash, because Glass-Steagall was the only thing that was holding it up from 1933 all the way to 1999. There was no, 1987, there was no collapses. Why? Because everybody had to be ethical. If you didn't, you went to jail. And then in I believe 87, they instituted a new law. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a collapse in 87, and then in 99, that's when they just went ahead and did away with Glass-Steagall. But now that you got a basis of what Glass-Steagall is, we're going to go into this first article.
All right. All right, so it's from usnews.com. Dated about 4 years ago, actually, August 27. But it says repeal of Glass-Steagall caused a financial crisis, and of course, it says the repeal of the law separating commercial and investment banking caused the 2008 financial crisis. And y'all know what was going on there.
Yeah, so this is going on. What we're going to hear now is what happened in 2008, and they have a picture illustrated. I'll try to see if the brother can get it in post production, but it's basically a banker. He's drowning in the water, and he's saying help, because the banks had collapsed. So they threw him a lifeline, which says bailout. He grabbed it, he gets out of the water, and he wipes his forehead, woo. And the next picture, he's back in his suit. He's even fatter, and they said, we've grown from our experience. What'd they grow from? They grew back into that wickedness that they were just in. Mm-hmm. And now he's fatter. He even got more money.
Yep. Yeah, it ain't like America, brought the gold act back, you know what I'm saying? Or brought the gold back. It's just more money fluctuating in the economy, which is going to create more inflation, which is going to create hyperinflation, which is going to create pop, the balloon.
Yeah, because I believe $1 equaled 1/35 of what gold was valued at the time. So what you going off of that standard now, and this is what happened with the city of London and Wall Street. They came together to get Nixon to do that, and now they're able to how can I put this? Now they're able to manipulate currencies based off of based off of futures, whatever they think that is going to be worth. Mm-hmm. To put it in layman's terms. So they can manipulate the market of countries basically. If they don't like you, they can say your currency ain't worth nothing and devalue you, or try to prop you up like America and have you the reserve currency. But this is going to come to an end, because there's Yahweh Shem Yahshai is not going to let this place keep going. When you try to do this next collapse to bring in the new world order, it's going to come to naught. But go ahead and get into the article, brother.
All right. It says the oldest propaganda technique is to repeat a lie emphatically and often until it is taken for the truth. Hey, you tell a lie so many times and people start to believe it. Something like this is going on now with regard to banks and the financial crisis. The big bank boosters and analysis who should know better are repeating the falsehood that repeal of Glass-Steagall had nothing to do with the panic of 2008.
Because ever since Roosevelt, who's the person who brought Glass-Steagall in, died, you had your people out there trying to get rid of Glass-Steagall. Mostly bankers and the people who represent the bankers. They were the people that was lobbying to repeal the Glass-Steagall Act.
It says, in fact, the financial crisis might not have happened at all but for the 1999 repeal of the Glass-Steagall law that separated commercial and investment banking for 7 decades. If there is any hope of avoiding another meltdown, it's critical to understand why Glass-Steagall repeal helped to cause the crisis. Without a return to something like Glass-Steagall, another greater catastrophe is just a matter of time. History is a good place to begin. After the Depression of 1920 to 21, the United States embarked on a period of economic prosperity known as the Roaring Twenties.
Right.
Go
ahead.
It was a time of innovation, especially in consumer goods such as automobiles, radio, and refrigeration. Along with these goods came new forms of consumer credit and bank expansion. National City Bank, forerunner of today's Citibank and Chase Bank, opened offices to sell securities side by side with traditional banking products like deposits and loans. It says, as the decade progressed, the stock market boomed and eventually reached bubble territory.
So that's the same thing that was just going on, because they were like, the stock market has never been higher, and once it got at its tip top, that's when it crashed and it fell.
All right. It says subsequent investigations revealed the extent of the fraud. Wait. It's like No. Yeah, we up here. It says, along with the bubble came market manipulation in the form of organized pools and would ramp up the price of stocks and dump them on unexpected suckers just before the stock collapsed.
Yeah, so what they were doing, they would invest in the stock and they would, let it climb, make all the money that they have in it. And then once, they made all their money, they would get out of the stock, sell it to you. So you think you got a stock that's going to keep climbing. But then, they put a chair underneath you, then bam, you lose all your money. So they made all their money out of it, sold you the bullshit, and now you broke.
It says, banks joined in by offering stocks of holding companies that would leverage pyramid schemes and other securities backed by dubious assets.
So what they were doing pyramid schemes like Bernie Madoff. They would say, hey, we got this stock, come and invest with it, give me your money, let me get this, and you're going to see 10 times the amount of money. And people were giving their money thinking that they're going to, double, triple, 5 times, 10 times get return on investment, to find out that they were just, they lost all their money that they invested. And he's nowhere to be found. Go ahead.
In 1929, the music stopped. The stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. It took 8 years for the start of the boom to the bust.
It took how many years?
8 years.
Now, it took 8 years from the boom to the bust. Now, Glass-Steagall was repealed in 99, and the boom and the bust happened in when? 2008, which is pretty much, 2000, and it's 8 years. That was in 2008. It's 2016. It's 8 years. And the start of this year was the worst year for the
economy.
For the economy.
Stock market,
in a while. In the history of the stock market, they said. So, with this 8 years, this is basically an 8 year period that you're gonna get out of this, boom bust economy without Glass-Steagall. So go ahead.
It took 8 years from the start of the boom to the bust. Subsequent investigation revealed the extent of the fraud that preceded the crash. In 1933, Congress passed Glass-Steagall in response to the abuses. Banks would be allowed to take deposits and make loans. Brokers would be allowed to underwrite and sell securities, but no firm, could do both due to conflicts of interest and risk to insured deposits.
Yeah, man, because it's risky. Because and we'll get into that later. But it's a risk when you play the stock market. Nobody, is a stock guru, so to speak, that they know everything that's going to happen when it happens. You basically rolling the dice. And so what it's saying is you can roll the dice if you want to, but you got to do it with government bonds. You got to do it with your own money or the money of people who want to invest in the stock market. You can't take somebody's money who's, they just get their check on Friday and then Saturday comes and you done lost all their money in the stock market. Now you can't give them their money back.
It says, from 1933 to 1999, there were very few large bank failures and no financial panics comparable to the panic of 2008. The law worked exactly as intended. In 1999, Democrats led by President Bill Clinton and Republicans led by Senator Phil Gramm joined forces to repeal Glass-Steagall at the behest of the big banks. I don't know that. What happened over the next 8 years was an almost exact replay of the Roaring '20s.
Yeah, so like I said, history just repeated itself.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing new under the sun, Once again, banks originated fraudulent loans, and once again, they sold them to their customers in the form of securities. The bubble peaked in 2007 and collapsed in 2008. The hard-earned knowledge of 1933 had been lost in the arrogance of 1999. All right. The bank supporters attacked on the clear as a bail narrative deserve a hearing to show how flimsy they are. One bank supporter says you cannot blame banks for fraudulent loan originations because that was done by unscrupulous mortgage brokers. This is nonsense. The brokers would not have been able to fund the loans in the first place if the bank had not been buying their production. Yeah,
so basically, they started blaming each other. Oh, it wasn't the banks, it was the non-banks. Oh, it wasn't the non-banks, it was the big banks. Or it was the individual cheatsters. Everybody was doing it, and everybody was getting over. The big banks got bailed out because they were too big to fail, so to speak. And the little banks, they got bailed out as well. Everybody got bailed out, and everybody tried to point the finger. When they were all doing illegal activities, they were all making billions of dollars, giving each themselves bonuses and raises and all this. So, everybody's to blame for that. So you could jump down from there, kind of skim through it.
I started reading. It was Glass-Steagall. I jumped down a little bit, and Lord willing, put the website in post-production and everything. It says it was Glass-Steagall that prevented the banks from using insured depositories to underwrite private securities and dump them onto their customers. This ability, along with financing provided to all the other players, was what kept the bubble machine going for so long. Now, when memories are fresh, is the time to reinstate Glass-Steagall to prevent the third cycle of fraud on customers. Without the separation of banking and underwriting, it's just a matter of time before banks repeat their honed practice of originating garbage loans and stuffing them down customers' throats. Congress had the answer in 1933. Congress lost its way in 1999. Now is the chance to get back to the garden.
They're not getting back to the garden. They're talking about the Garden of Eden. They're talking about the good days when there were no collapses. But, this next collapse is going to be the biggest collapse. It's going to be the Greater Depression. And, it's going to be no bouncing back from this. Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
It says, this is another article. Glass-Steagall Act, 1933, law stirs up 2016 presidential race, dated February 8, 2016.
So now let's talking about present day.
It says, with the 2016 presidential primary season gathering steam, candidates on both sides continue to debate a banking law passed in the middle of the Great Depression. The Glass-Steagall Act, whose partial repeal in 1999 has been blamed by some for the financial crisis of 2008 to 2009, had imposed a regulatory separation between traditional banking and higher risk investing activities. Democratic presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton says she would not reinstate the banking law, but has instead laid out a multi-pronged plan to mitigate risk in the financial industry, including so-called shadow banking, which I think I need glasses, bro. I'm just say that. Including so-called shadow banking, which she says played a greater role in the crisis than the commercial banks covered by Glass-Steagall.
So really, she's in league with the banks. Basically, she don't want to repeal Glass-Steagall. She's saying, well, it wasn't the banks that was doing it; it was the shadow banks. No, everybody was doing it. So you can go ahead.
All right. It says Clinton's leading opponent for the Democratic nomination, Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, will fully reinstate the law, and a 2015 bill to that end has the support of politicians from all corners of the political spectrum. Also among those in favor, two Republicans, former candidate and Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee and retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson. Also on the Republican side, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush says he's open to the idea of reinstating Glass-Steagall. But like Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, and businessman Donald Trump, he has called for the repeal of Dodd-Frank legislation, which includes a rule some have called Glass-Steagall Light.
And Dodd-Frank is Obama did that in 2010, which is sort of like Glass-Steagall, but not as
effective.
Yeah, like a smaller version of it. Yeah.
It says Joseph Stiglitz, winner of a Nobel Prize in economics and a professor at Columbia University, wrote in a 2008 opinion piece, "Commercial banks are not supposed to be high-risk ventures. They are supposed to manage other people's money very conservatively. It is with this understanding that the government agrees to pick up the tab should they fail. Investment banks, on the other hand, have traditionally managed rich people's money, people who can take bigger risk in order to get bigger returns."
Yeah, so I shouldn't have to risk my money when I'm just putting it in there as a savings. You should be able to keep my money safe and, let me build my interest up. That's what a commercial bank is supposed to do. It's not supposed to be a risk for me. Now, if I want to take that same money and I want to risk it to make more money off of it, then, I should be able to do that. But there's no reason for me to have to take the same risk as, Warren Buffett does when I'm not trying to get rich as Warren Buffett.
Says Glass-Steagall attempted to keep commercial banks low risk to make it safer for the government to back those banks with deposit insurance, which would in turn prevent another Great Depression.
Which is why we're in the position that we're at today.
The partial repeal of Glass-Steagall in the financial crisis It says, after decades of lobbying and proposed legislation, some of the Glass-Steagall provisions were repealed in 1999 when the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act was signed. Glass-Steagall's opponents had objected to what they perceived as over-regulation of the banking industry. Some critics believe Glass-Steagall's partial repeal contributed to the 2008 to 2009 financial crisis, alongside earlier weakening of the Act effect through various government actions. Even John S. Reed and Sandy Weil, the former co-chairman of Citigroup, created in 1998 as the acquisition of an investment bank, Solomon Smith Barney, by a commercial bank, Citibank, have both said in effect that Glass-Steagall protected the U.S. economy.
It said that it protected the U.S. economy. That's coming from the banks themselves. So when you repeal Glass-Steagall, you have nothing to protect the economy, so it's going to crash. But it's all set up anyways. But, if they did want to, keep America, great and beautiful or whatnot, then they wouldn't have repealed Glass-Steagall. Everything would have been hunky-dory. America would still been on the up and up. You'd still had money to, to take care of the roads and, make new modes of transportation and all that good stuff. And, America would have been the great empire it was on its way to sustaining life. But now, it's on the road to hell. It's on the highway to hell.
Yeah. On the highway. I'm going to grab the scripture right quick.
Yeah.
And it's kind of based off of everything. Isaiah 10:1.
Oh, that's the spirit. I was going to have you get that.
Okay. That's the Most High, Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
That's what they doing, man. they writing unrighteous laws to basically steal your money.
Yep. To justify it, really.
And justify it.
So they like, I ain't wicked for what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if there's more to it. And what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far?
Yeah, what you gonna do when the Most High come get you?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do when Yahweh Shem Yahushai, deems that it's necessary that this place goes down? And your rap sheet, is your rap sheet. What you gonna do?
Hangs from the heavens to the other heavens, man. Your rap sheet can wrap around earth, you wicked.
Right.
It says, to whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory?
Yeah, who you gonna run to now? You gonna run to the Rothschilds? You can't run to them because they the biggest bankers that there is. You could say they're most responsible for it. Who you gonna get protection from? From the United States Army or the Air Force or the Navy? It says that Michael and his angels are going to go to war with them, so what you going to do?
And the good guy always wins.
Mm-hmm.
The good guy always wins. It says, verse 4, it says, without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So even within all of this, you're going to get judged, but like the brother said, you're creating laws to justify stealing people money, to keep that 1% versus the 99% when things are supposed to be just, man. You're supposed to have, balance. We're supposed to be able to have gold. I should be able to take my jewelry and get what it's worth. Not you got real gold and you giving us, a little bit of real gold and this and that, or even diamonds. The things y'all do with diamonds is not rare. First of all, but y'all whack us if we want to put diamonds in our ear or diamonds on our neck. You know what I'm saying? I can't go over there and just dig for it myself because you'll bust my goddamn head for it or put me in jail. You know what I'm saying? So or I gotta get a passport to go get it.
Or if you want to do it here in America, you gotta have a permit. You gotta be regulated.
Yep, kind.
Or even if I want to take my my silver or my gold necklace and get it, soldered down to raw gold or raw silver, I'm still not gonna get the value for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why this place has to go down.
Who's that walking? I may be cars here. That's it today. You want me to get back on that?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more of that. Let me see. You can even jump down from there. Go back up real quick to the future. You already read some of that?
No. Last I read was up there.
Nah, that's cool on that. Go down.
Keep going.
Yeah, start at the future.
All right. This paragraph titled "The Future of Glass-Steagall." It says potential issues with Volcker, including loopholes and gray areas that may impede enforcement.
Okay, so Volcker is basically all right, I guess you got to go back up a little bit to
this is the Volcker rule or Glass-Steagall light, quote unquote. It says, pursuant to the view that the 2008-2009 crisis resulted in part from a lack of sufficient separation post-Glass-Steagall between the investment and commercial banking activities, Congress included the Volcker rule in the Dodd-Frank reform legislation signed into law by President Obama in 2010. The part of Glass-Steagall known as Section 16, which was not repealed, limits the kinds of investment banks can make with customers' deposit funds. Section 20, which was repealed, limited what banks could do even with their own money. The Volcker rule reinstated some of the prohibitions of Section 20. All right.
So basically, it was, what you can or can't do with your money, and what you can and can't do with, customer money, basically.
They took out some and left some, or reinstated some, rather. It says the future of Glass-Steagall, potential issues with Volcker, including loopholes and gray areas that may impede enforcement, led to the introduction of the 21st Century Glass-Steagall Act.
So, there's still ways to get around it. If you just kept the way it was, everything would be in cool. But now you get loopholes and gray areas, and where there's no law, there's no sin. So that's what they were going with.
Yep. For U.S. senators introduced a bill in July seeking the revival of broader banking law. Senators Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts and John McCain in Arizona, among others, introduced the act. In McCain's words, the act aimed to rebuild the wall between commercial and investment banking that was in place for over 60 years, restore confidence in the system, and reduce risk for the American taxpayer.
So what they're trying to do now is trying to build basically a new Glass-Steagall, which is pretty much the old Glass-Steagall, to put that wall up between the investment banks and the commercial banks.
The fate of the legislation and the financial regulation and generally will likely hinge on the results of the 2016 election. Although Clinton's plan to address the issue doesn't include a full reinstatement of Glass-Steagall's provisions, as Sanders does, Clinton would close one of Volcker rule's biggest loopholes involving hedge fund investing in state risk fees on large financial institutions engaged in certain activities, include the government's regulatory power over shadow banks such as Lehman Brothers, whose role in the financial crisis is widely accepted even by those who don't believe Glass-Steagall's partial repeal was a factor. On the other side of the aisle, apart from supporting the repeal of Dodd-Frank, including the Volcker rule, most candidates have said that they would sign into law the Reins Act, which stands for regulations from the executive in need of scrutiny. The act, sponsored by former GOP presidential candidate Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, will require major regulations issued by federal agencies and the executive branch to be subject to congressional approval.
Now, in the Reigns Act is basically them trying to make everything good going forward. It doesn't have any retroactive consequences or anything. So if you were operating illegal, you're still good. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to go to jail or anything like that. But going forward, you got to basically be on your best behavior. You got a precept?
Not really. It kind of, not really.
Okay, you can go to the bottom line.
Okay, it says the bottom line, despite its complexity, regulation of the financial sector will likely remain one of the most hotly debated issues of the 2016 presidential race. Depending on the state of the economy headed into summer, the issue may play a strong role in deciding the election.
Which is true, because the economy ain't going to do nothing but get worse and worse. And with definitely with China becoming with their currency, the yuan, being included in the SDRs, that's going to have a big effect on the dollar. So, and I believe they're going to become an official currency within that basket of currencies in October. With the election being in November, it's going to really be a big hotbed, because that's when the economy, if everything goes the way the prognosticators and the prediction people have put it, then October, late fall, October, November, that's when it's going to be a big deal. So, Lord willing, everything comes to fruition. This place, crashes, the dollar crashes, and they start pushing the chip and other prophecies.
I got a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And you got just this much of a window left, Esau. This much.
And you know what I'm saying? It's not like they don't understand what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. They just doing it so the economy can crash, so they can bring about a new currency, which is going to be the mark of the beast, man, the RFID chip. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to get that scripture, because he know that he got a short time. You see chariot sightings all over, so he know that the Lord is on his way. You know what I'm saying? And he's just doing what he got to do, man. It might not seem like he don't know what he doing, or he's a little off on his timing, but he know when he's going to make this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? And whether he want to or not, the Most High is going to make it happen on his time anyway. You know?
He might not be there when you want him. It's always on time.
And that's exactly how the prophecy is, man. That's why the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I came into this, really, it was out. The economy was blown to shits. You know what I'm saying? Georgia and Russia was at war. I thought it was about to go down. You know what I'm saying? But the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, because you got to get in this and get into it, man. You got niggas out there, IUIC and them, man, and it's been pissing me off lately, because y'all basically just playing around, you know what I'm saying? And, we ain't got time to be playing. You have your little family outings, you do whatever you do, but when it comes to this word, it comes to this word, man. Yeah. That's what it is. Y'all not serious about this, man. Y'all not serious about it. You know what I'm saying? For you to shun somebody for having faith, nigga, you're dumb. You know what I'm saying? The just shall live by faith.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're saved by faith, which, by the grace of faith, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And but whatever, you gotta, the wicked scribes and Pharisees had to come back. That's all I got to say about it. I was really getting heated about it for the past week, which you will get in this truth at times. When it comes to defending something that you believe in, you will get heated. But, you know what I'm saying? Let the dead bury the dead, man. I just let y'all be, you know what I'm saying? Let y'all be, but, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got anything else to say, but with that, man, it's right around the corner, you know what I'm saying? It might not, I mean, you can tell. You see food and stuff going up. You know, gas being low is actually not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's good for your pockets, but financially, global financially and economically, it's not good. You know, hey, it could be a war right around the corner, which pretty much it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the old boy Kim Jong-un. He ready to go at it, man. He ready to go at it, man. There's an article I seen a while back. Well, not a while, probably like a week or so, but I need to get back into that, and I need to really read it, you know, and probably bring that out, you know, let the spirit deal how it deal, but basically they ready to go to war, man. All right, because America and South Korea, they got little war drills that they want to do over there, but they like, man, y'all better chill with that, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, if somebody creep, hey, you better watch your back, and then, you know what I'm saying, you hear people in your backyard, you know what I'm saying, at night, or your sensor lights coming on and all that, your motion sensor lights coming on, you like, oh, man, I thought I was playing, like, but man, we at the end of this thing, you know? You know what I'm saying? Brothers out there, keep pushing. Like the apostle said, it's the year to push, man.
Year to push.
Get that truth out there, you know what I'm saying? And as well as, you know what I'm saying, literally push, you know what I'm saying? Push yourself to keep fighting and keep praying and keep fasting and keep reading and keep bringing out videos, because the stronger we get, the stronger our adversary get, man.
Okay.
The stronger Satan get and the stronger Esau gonna get, you know what I'm saying? So if you prayed a lot in 2015, guess what? You got to pray more in 2016. Everything you did then, you got to do more now, man. Except for,
look at this.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, righteousness is filthy as rags, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? All that wicked shit or man, just be about this word, you know what I'm saying? Be about this word, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is at the end of the day. Lord's on the way.
They start...
the crashing economy can bring in so many different prophecies.
Pushing the chip.
Like, I was thinking
and,
earlier.
You know, other prophecies.
I don't know. I'm not saying it could be, but I feel like the famine
Revelations
right around
12
the
and
corner.
12.
I was thinking like
Therefore
Jake so
rejoice,
fucking stupid. They'll smoke a blunt in the
dwell in
famine, which is gonna make you thirsty and hungry.
Right.
You know.
But it's a good thing you said that, because it kind of brought me back to remembrance. Back during the Great Depression, even the farmers was going through it. Because they couldn't afford seeds, they couldn't afford
it's not like
the tools and things
they don't
that they needed
what they doing.
to
They
even till the
know
land.
exactly what they doing.
So
they just doing
that's
it
going to
so
bring
the economy
forth,
can
you know,
crash. So they can
famine within itself.
A new currency, which
it's so much
going to be
so much
market of
like
beast,
things
man.
is
RFID
more
chip,
connected.
That's why I wanted to
nowadays.
get that scripture.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, they
one
got a
thing
short
happen,
time,
it can mess up a bunch of things,
especially with
technology.
all over. So
you know,
he know that
you got
the Lord
one
is on
goddamn
his way,
cell phone tower down and
and
this many amount of people.
doing what he got to do, man.
Everything
It might not seem like he
is
don't
smaller.
know what he doing.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a little
The world
off
is
on his
smaller, you know
timing,
what
but
I'm
he
saying?
know when he's going to make this
cell
shit
phone
happen,
don't
you
work,
know what I'm saying?
your TV probably
whether
don't
he
work,
want
and
to
the radio
or not,
probably,
you know what I'm saying, make it happen on his time. That's how Esau got it.
It
Like
might
that,
not
man.
be there when you want it.
You like pressing play.
Always on time.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how the prophecies is, man. That's why the scripture says, though
brothers,
tarry,
just keep
wait
your
for
faith.
it. Like,
You know, I
you know
had
what I'm saying? I came in this, when
a
I came
relative
into this, really,
asked me the other day,
the economy
about
was
faith
booming
or
shit,
whatnot.
you know what I'm saying?
You
Georgia
know,
and Russia was
fighting
at war.
demons.
I thought it was about to
I
go
said,
down.
man,
You know
the
what
way I
I'm saying?
look
But the
at
scripture
it,
say, though it tarry,
you know,
wait for it, because you got to get in this and get
Satan's
into
gonna
it,
tempt
man.
you.
We got niggas
And
out
in
there.
every battle that you get,
IUIC
you want to mark a check mark on your side, not on his side.
Because y'all
So
basically
you know, just keep marking your check marks on your side, and let him keep taking
we
the
ain't got time
L's
to be
in
playing. You know, you have your little
2016.
family
And
outings,
Lord willing, we're going to get out of here.
But when it comes to this word, it comes to this word, man. That's what
You're
it
gonna
is.
get
You know,
hit.
y'all not
You
serious
getting
about
hit
this, man.
is
Y'all
you're
not
gonna
serious
slip,
about it.
all
You know
right?
what I'm saying? For you to
But
say,
you gotta still
for
get
you
back
to
up.
shun
You know what I'm
somebody,
saying?
you gotta pray the Lord allow you to get back up.
Okay.
You know, at the end of the day, because we ain't shit. I can't make it if I want to make it. Of course I want to make it, but I can only make it if the Lord allow me to make it, man.
Okay.
That's why you can only do what you're supposed to do. All right? Which is fear the Most High and keep the commandments. That's all I had to do.
All right. With that being said, you know, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS and the WADA, you know, and salutations to the elect brothers in His truth and sincerity, the 144 and the 1/3. With that being said, shalom.
So.